I can't believe it. Ricky Gervais is one of my favorites, yet I haven't watched his newest and highly praised show yet. Time to get to it then. I got no doubt that Afterlife is great. The question is just, how great? Hi there, it's Micha. Come in and I will share my take on it with you. Ricky stars as Tony, a man who loves his wife to infinity and beyond. Lisa is the light of his life and the center of his life. Or better put, she was, as she recently died of cancer. Having no reason to live anymore, Tony would have ended it if there wasn't the second most important creature in his life, his dog Brandy, who still needs him to feed her, walk her and keep her company. Still suicidal though, he thinks of it as a backup.
If I do and say what the fuck I want, and then when it all gets too much, I can always kill myself.
With that in mind, he has nothing to lose anymore, which gives him a new freedom.
It's like a superpower.
That's the worst superhero I've ever heard of.
To just don't care what happens next. To him or the world around him. So he lives every day without a filter.
Your dog should be on a lead.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry. Thank you. What? He is not a fat, hairy, nosy cocksucker. Sorry about that.
Speaks his mind and confronts whoever he wants. Muggers asking for his money? Or they kill him? Fine, let's fight them. Drugs? Why not? Nothing to lose. Tony spends his days kinda at work. Meaning he starts his workday whenever he feels like dropping in at the office. Fortunately, his job as a feature writer for the local free newspaper allows a fluent schedule, though everyone around really cut him a lot of slack. His best buddy Lenny is the paper's photographer, joining Tony on his interviews all over town, around always underwhelming topics, and he often functions as Tony's valve to let out some of his steam through more or less friendly insults, though his favorite target to tease is colleague Kath, who often has it coming for being too nosy or too much in Tony's face. A new writer, Sandy, to whom he is supposed to show the ropes.
Humanity is a plague. We're a disgusting, selfish parasite, and the world would be a better place without us. Is that the sort of thing?
At least manages to get him to open up a bit, distracting his dark thoughts, while all the while Matt, his editor and brother-in-law, tries his best to get him out of his destructive mindset. Spending time with his nephew George seems to be the only thing that gives Tony comfort, but Matt worries how Tony's perspective may impact his little boy, both short-term and in the long run, and Tony spiraling further every day may lead to Matt having to keep the boy away from his uncle. Outside of work he befriends a junkie who also lost his wife, and he gets friendly on a platonic level with a sex worker, who reminds him that not everyone is out to get him. At his wife's grave he also forms a friendship with Anne, an older widow who also becomes a wise voice in his life. Oh, and then there is the world's worst psychiatrist, which he also seems to visit daily. Someone who is not bothered with confidentiality issues and mainly talks about himself, while giving advice that no one should ever follow. Someone with whom Tony will later cut ties.
So how are you?
A good day is when I don't go around wanting to shoot random strangers in the face. And then...
Bad then.
Another daily routine is visiting his father in the local nursing home, but Tony questions the value of it, as his dad got Alzheimer's and doesn't remember him being there. And sometimes not even who he is, though he always asks where Lisa is.
How's Lisa?
Oh, Jesus. She's dead, Dad.
Bring Lisa with you.
Fuck me.
Opening Tony's wound anew. One nurse though encourages him to keep coming, as this benefits his father even if it doesn't seem so. As their talks continue each day, Tony grows to like her. But will there ever be more possible in his life? Series 1 or Season 1, if you prefer the American wording, of this show is doing a fantastic job of walking the balance between comedy and drama. And a lot of it plainly stems from the fact that we know Ricky and allow him a certain degree of rudeness in his interactions with his surroundings. Something not every actor can pull off without appearing like a total ass. The show makes us feel the sadness inside a grieving spouse, who outlived their loved one, never making fun of it but finding the fun that remains, outside of the situation. It feels honest and authentic, is sometimes heartbreakingly earnest, while giving us something to smile about at other times. It would be fair to categorize this more in the drama region as in comedy, as the show concentrates more on presenting its unfiltered truth, just allowing humor whenever things would otherwise become so real that it would be unbearable. Over the first series, we follow Tony through his rock bottom, from being self-destructive and not caring about himself and others, at least not on the same level as he would have cared before, and see bit by bit how he starts to live again, by embracing the positive influences around him. Step by step he understands that this newfound superpower, being blunt and having suicide as a fallback, only works effectively if everyone around him is an asshole and deserves that treatment. He learns that it is also off-putting and creates fear and sorrows in others, like in his nephew, who fears his uncle might end his own life. With every new day, Tony relearns that there are people worth living for, that there are things we can do that maybe not further our own life, but the lives of others, and that every person got their own problems, though most will hide them so well that most others don't expect them to be there. It is a touching experience to join him on this discovery trip, which is still full of tripwires, and not every decision he makes along the way, even if meant well, turns out to be the right thing. But that is only human, and this is what this show is all about. We leave him after the 6 episodes of Series 1 as a man who may never enjoy life like he did before, but someone who is willing to give it another try, with his superpowers sworn to be only aimed at people who deserve it. I am rating Series 1 with 9 out of 10 points, as it was almost flawless. It was touching, rough, earnest, funny, and most of all, human. I'm looking forward to checking out the next 2 series, which are already available on Netflix. Who produces this show? Well, that's it. I tried to keep it short this time, so do you agree with my rating? Let me know in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed this video, like it and feel free to share it with your friends. And why not subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any future video. Make sure to also hit the notification bell to get a heads up whenever a new video is posted. So much for now, see you next time and thanks for watching.